Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Tell-All. My name is Bobby Fazio. This is the Driver Interviews with Bobby Fazio channel at Driver Interviews, hashtag The Car Show. How's everybody doing out there? Who's ready for the Vegas National event? And who was at the Dutch Classic last week at Maple Grove Raceway? It was a good time. The weather was phenomenal. If it can stay like that forever, that would be wonderful. A little bit of a gamble every year because it's late October, but the race was definitely blessed, I would say, with some horsepower welcoming air, right? So there you go. Thanks for bearing with me. I'm a little late today. It's about 8 minutes late. Steve Bruce, happy Tuesday. Did that 55 suffer any significant damage? I am told that it has not suffered any damage unless they found something out today, but they got it home yesterday. Well, mind you, after the final, they pushed it all the way back to the starting line. And Jules Schoenberger, young Jules, I think they call him JJ or Jay Schoenberger, fired it up and drove it back to the pits. So it didn't have any kind of severe like broken axle or broken rear or anything like that. Wasn't making all kinds of clunking noises when we all pushed it back. So they told me that they were going to put it up on the lift that night, and if they found anything out, they were going to let me know. But so far they hadn't found anything. So they are just thinking maybe Schoenberger was just lined up in just possibly a better spot on the left side than he was on the right side. The car just drove hooked right pretty hard. If you saw the Facebook Live video that I was posting, and unfortunately ran into Cantucci. Gianni Cantucci really couldn't do anything about it. He was getting he was giving the head start, and by the time Jules was hooking over past, just missing the tree, hitting the 60-foot cone, Cantucci was already in his wheelie, had just come down from it and tried to get around him. And they just touched. It could have been way, way worse. That's all I know. Definitely could have been way worse. And feel bad for both racers. I mean, feel bad for Cantucci. He's just an innocent bystander, and his car got hit. And feel bad for Schoenberger. That was his first race in a big car out of a junior. I think he still might be racing juniors. And to have that happen, and to happen to the Hurley family, who Melinda Hurley was driving her 55 Chevy, and she broke a camshaft, I believe, after the second round, and she was killing it. She was like 00 and 00 in the first two rounds. And then for their other car to have this happen to it in the final round, this was the father's car, Steve Hurley's car, was unfortunate. So I feel bad for the Hurley family. I feel bad for Schoenberger. I feel bad for Cantucci. It's just the trifecta right there. So we'll see if anything that we hear. We'll let you know. Let's go. Happy Tuesday. There's Walt Walker. How you doing, buddy? Thanks for tuning in. Ray Minnick, the accountant. What's going on, Ray? How's it going? My grandpa Fulper was Pennsylvania Dutch. Let's go. Good Tuesday, and thanks for the Dutch coverage. Yep, that's Reggie Litch. I was trying. I can't believe that race was such a hidden secret. No live timing, no NHRA TV stream. Like, that's the greatest sportsman race next to Indy of the entire year. It's the best open all year. The only thing that kind of is unfortunate about it is that it's an open. I mean, I wish it was a divisional, but since it's an open, let's make lemonade out of lemons here. That needs to be blown up as the best open of the year. It needs to be like rebranded. Keep calling it the Dutch Classic if you want, but it really needs to showcase stock and super stock. The .90s, there are a handful of them there, but if you're a .90 racer, there's really no point in being there unless you need a grade point. You're going to beat on your equipment for, I guess, a $2,000 check. I don't know if there's any more than that. Sometimes it's more based on if a sponsor wants to throw in some money. I know when I won Gold Rush Trailers, Phil Langford threw in an extra $1,000, so that was cool. So I got $3,000. We don't really get any contingency or anything like that. However, you do get contingency now for winning class in stock and super stock. So like I said, the race, in my opinion, has bottomed out. Like the bad days are behind us now with this race, and it's more on an upswing again. We're getting a lot of cars in stock and super stock. You're getting a Wally to win class. You're getting contingency money to win class. And obviously you're getting the Wally to win the event. But I think this needs to be, I don't know, make the Dutch Classic like a real showcase for the stock and super stock racers, and at the very least have a stream and some live timing. I can't believe it. On top of that, we were finishing the Virginia Division I event there, which had some real serious points implications. And I know racers from far and wide were trying to watch that and see what was going on. And it just wasn't, there was nothing. There was no live timing, no stream. I don't know why. Had I known this, I don't live that far from Maple Grove, but I didn't have enough time to drive all the way home and get my stuff and come back. But I have, I have my streaming equipment because I tried streaming at Cecil County a couple times, but I have at least 2 cameras, and I could have set something up, if they would have let me, and we could have at least gotten that out to the public. As far as spectator count, that was dismal and depressing. Should definitely be more spectators there. A friend of mine came to the race on Sunday around, I guess he got there around 10 o'clock in the morning, 11 o'clock in the morning, and thought he was going to watch a whole day of racing. And we were into the semifinals by then. Racing was pretty much finished by 2 o'clock on Sunday. So I felt bad for him. And there just wasn't, I guess, enough information for a common spectator who follows maybe Maple Grove Raceway on Facebook to know exactly what was going on at the race. If I owned a racetrack, I would want as many people in the stands as possible so I could make money. And I want the owners of Maple Grove to, really start putting their best foot forward and trying to, capitalize on that race. Where's that Fazio at? He was tutoring kids in math and shoving down some dinner. That's why I was a little bit late tonight. Thanks, Ray. Good job this year in Stock Eliminator, Ray. Let the show start. The Dutch was cold at night. Sure was. Great sleeping weather. I had the heat set on 55, and that heat kept kicking on and kicking on and kicking on. I was worried I was going to run out of propane. But I'll tell you what, I was bundled up and sleeping. I think I went to bed around 10 o'clock each night and woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And it was amazing. And usually Stock Eliminator is out, first thing in the morning. But 2 things. I was running super stock, so I got to sleep in. And we couldn't start till 10 o'clock in the morning every day because it was so cold. So I really got to sleep in. It was wonderful. That 55 looked like he broke an axle. As far as I know, he hasn't told us that yet. Happy Tuesday, Brian. Cool. What's going on? Great coverage of the Dutch Classic. Thank you. And there's also coverage by other YouTubers out there. Joe Grippo. If you search up Joe Grippo on YouTube, I just saw on the Roku there, he had a 40-minute Dutch Classic video. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet. In 4K, by the way. And there was another one, Nostalgia Nick's Garage, I believe it's called. If anybody wants to correct me on that, Nostalgia Nick. And he put up the entire first round of stock and the entire first round of super stock. So give those YouTubers some love. Be sure to like and subscribe to their channels. That would help them out. I know Nostalgia Nick has about 800 subscribers. Let's get him to 1,000 so he can start making a couple bucks by doing all that work and all that editing and all that filming. Nostalgia Nick's Garage, Oil Pan Nation, that's another good one, and Joe Grippo. Shame it wasn't live streamed, or did I miss something? No, you didn't miss anything. There was no official live stream. D1 admittedly dropped the ball. Chuck Weisberg, I got to meet Chuck. Good evening. Thanks for what you do. It was a pleasure meeting you at the Dutch Classic. You too, sir. Tom Baker was at the Dutch Classic. He was driving really well and going very fast, I must say, in D stock automatic. Handful of D stockers. I know there were 11 F stockers. They were shouting them out on the speaker there every now and then. They said there were 141 stockers. What's up, Eddie? How you doing? They said there were 141 stockers on the loudspeaker. They said that, but there were only 127, I think, on the Q1 sheet. We never got a final qualifying sheet, which I really wanted to see after class round 1. So that was kind of unfortunate. Like I said, this race needs to be. This is Indy 2.0. I mean, in my opinion, it's better. It's faster. You're going to go much faster at Maple Grove in October than you are at Indy in August, right? But I know Indy's the U.S. National, so I shouldn't say it's better, but more entertaining to watch class when cars are going. Fred Elsis went 165 under to qualify number 1 stock eliminator. Cars were just flying. I was having trouble taming down the awesome Paul Gunther Mustang that I was driving. So it was trying to go over backwards on me, I gotta say. So I was trying to tame it down, and then I kind of went a little too far with it, and then I was blowing the tires off. Then I was trying to loosen it up, and I didn't quite get there in time for made it to the third round. But yeah, it was definitely a game of trying to get the power to the pavement there. Hayden Brown, what's up, Hayden? How you doing down there in New Orleans? Michael Meyer, not Michael Myers, Michael Meyer. Happy Halloween, Mike. Happy Tuesday. How you doing, buddy? Moody, I saw Moody there. Good evening, Bobby. Stick Hemis and nearby cigar smoke are awesome. Just saying. Moody, I shouted your name out. You drove by. You totally ignored me. Were you running top sportsman? Joe Collins, what's going on, Joe? How you doing, buddy? Joe wasn't there in the F-stick car. I was looking for him. Pete Ducko, what's going on, Pete? Cobra Jet Racer, 9,500 RPM. Hello from the Motor City. That's George Wright. Louis Gill. Was Louis Gill there? That was Louis Gill there? No, we didn't see Louis Gill. He wins the Nationals, and he goes home. Takes our money and leaves. Doesn't come back for round 2. What's up, Lou? How you doing, buddy? Chris from Maine. Good to meet you. Yeah, Chris Kilby. That was a cool car. Dodge Daytona? Stick car? GTK? Nice. Tom Gent. Oh, Russell wasn't there. He could have been running Superstock J Automatic against Herbie Knoll. Could have given him his money's worth. Danny Davis. What's up, Danny? How you doing? Kaylin Rose Gunther. Kaylin was the boss. I had to follow orders there driving her car. It's got her name on the back on the license plate. She takes some great photos, by the way. Look up Kaylin Rose Gunther on Facebook there and check out her photos. What's up, Kaylin? Vince 4K Jr. It was on the flyer that it was going to be streamed. I was disappointed when it wasn't. All right, good. So I didn't imagine that then. All right. Yeah, I know. I'm telling you. Make the Dutch great again. Absolutely, Pete. Absolutely. Maybe we can, I don't know. Let's put together some good ideas. We know that race is on the upswing. Let's put together some good ideas for next year. Oh, and they had, right. Thank you, Gary Ewing. After hiring Alan, NHRA was broke. Alan Reinhart was announcing. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. You got Alan Reinhart there. You got Ray Thurston announcing, and we had Don O'Neill announcing. So we did have 3 good announcers on the mic, I must say. I mean, it was just it's a shame it wasn't streamed. Did they even run comp? They did run comp, a handful of cars. And who won comp? I know Steve Zupka was in the final in the dragster.
Tommy Miller.
Tommy Miller?
Thomas Miller.
Thomas Miller versus Steve Zupka in the final of comp. And Miller got the win, if I remember correctly. Such a joke. They have such a gold mine there, especially with this event. The Bloody Dutch. Yep. I'm telling you. All right, guys. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I didn't even get to any of the sponsors yet or any of the announcements yet. Hello, Terry Nolan. How you doing, buddy? 0 posts other than what you put out there, Bobby. Nothing on Drag Race Central. I was disappointed. I know, Darren. There was nothing. It was hard. You couldn't look anything up. Drag Race Central obviously didn't put anything up till Monday, which they finally put some things up. So I was able to see what kind of runs were out there, what kind of packages were out there, and whatnot. So, man, to beat on your comp car at a national open, that takes some guts, I gotta say. All right, let's see. Do I have some announcements? I have some sad announcements here. We got Jeff Tripp, longtime Division I Superstock racer, and a guy that I was 0 for the century against. I don't think I may have beat him once, if I'm thinking that right, but he beat me way more than that. He was a tough competitor. Superstock A modified. He always had a Monte Carlo, Chevy Monte Carlo, and he had a Chevy Cobalt at times as well. So a big loss right there. Rest in peace, Jeff Tripp. I feel like I was just talking to him at Cecil County, but I'm sure that was at the beginning of the year. That was probably in like May. So a sad loss there. I can't believe it. Rest in peace, Jeff Tripp. I also forgot to announce Dave Wenzel, the brother of Ben Wenzel, the engine builder, the crew chief for the Wenzel brothers there with that 1967 Z28 Camaro. We lost Dave Wenzel also in the last couple weeks as well. So rest in peace, Dave Wenzel. I hope Ben is still going to be out there racing. I know he hasn't been around as much the last couple years. They're getting up in age a little bit. The car is an absolute gem, probably worth a ton of money. And don't know what the plans are for them in the future for the Wenzel family there in Wenzel Racing. But two big losses there, Jeff Tripp and Dave Wenzel. I've got some sad but happy news, I guess we could say. I'm sure a bigger announcement is coming, but my pal and friend, Billy Carroll, is no longer with Edelbrock, and he was responsible for paying our contingency payments, very quickly and promptly. And when he told me that he wasn't with Edelbrock anymore, I was pretty sad. I hope, Edelbrock still continues to support the sportsman racers and still pays contingency. That's always a plus. We can't lose any more of those. But Billy is now going to be at Modern Racing, modernracing.net, actually, the website there. And so we got good things. He's still associated with the racing world. And if I know Billy, he's going to try and do everything he can to support the sportsman racers. So best of luck there, Billy Carroll, at your new position there, modernracing.net. More on that in a little bit, or maybe in a couple weeks, maybe as he fills me in on what's going down there and what his position is going to be and all of that. All right. See you in a while already. They are great. And thanks for yours too. All right. Yep. Hi, Bobby. Jimmy Carter. Bunny Horn. They advertised it would be streamed. It has been streamed the last 2 years. I was so happy to see your post. And Joe Gerbo's post, so frustrating trying to watch from Vancouver, British Columbia. And I know your brother was racing there. That would be Venice Perno, not Vince Perno. Venice Perno. Glenn Briglio. How you doing, Glenn? Glenn was standing up the Camaro H stock automatic, possibly I stock automatic. I can't remember which class Glenn was running this weekend, but he was running fast. I know that. Pete Lancier is in the Vegas stacking line. Ladies and gentlemen, good luck to you, Pete, out there on the West Coast. Good evening, Doug Core. What's going on? Dennis Chapman was running in the front-wheel drive stocker. Dennis Chapman Jr. was there as well. I saw him. Eric Schick agrees 100%. The Hemi cars were flying. They were flying, but I wanted them to go faster, and the conditions were there. They were. The track wasn't, though. And Q1, Q2, Camilla didn't even get off the starting line. A couple of them didn't get off the starting line. Mind you, there were only 6 cars that showed up, but I was waiting for like an 8:14 pass at 163 miles an hour, and it just didn't happen. So Jimmy Daniels was the only one that really had it figured out for all 3 qualifying, I think they got 2 or 3 qualifying sessions and the first round or 2. But then in the final was actually one of his slower runs there against Steve Camella, who was figuring it out. I think Steve was still taking the safe approach, though. He was just trying to get from A to B. So Hemi Shootout. I think it's called Hemi Shootout here. It's called Hemi Challenge at Indy. It's called Hemi Shootout in Belrose. Boo! Happy Halloween, says Bruce Fulper. Hemi Shootout in Belrose is in a couple weeks, and the conditions should be phenomenal there. So hopefully they all head down there, and we can see a nice 14 run? I don't remember what the fastest run ever was. All right, let's get to some results here. Let's start with the Virginia completion. So Bubba Linky, who's number 1 in the points in stock eliminator and really making a run at the championship here, needed this win pretty badly, and he squared off against Victor Cagnazzi in the Copo. Bubba's got a 97 Camaro, I believe, 94, something between a 94 to 97 Camaro. B-stock automatic, and Cagnazzi's got a newer Copo, factory stock C. Bubba dialed 1036. He's 035 on the tree, which, if you know him, is not a very good life for him. He's usually in the 20s at worst. Bubba's always in the 20s. So he's 035 here, giving Cagnazzi a little shot here because Cagnazzi was 024. Vic dialed 952, goes down there, runs a 950 with an 8. I think Bubba reeled him in and dropped him and pushed him out the back door. So at 138 miles an hour, breaking out by 12 thousandths of a second here, Bubba hit the brakes down there, and he was safe. 1037.9 on a 1036, getting the win. Huge win for Bubba. So I know all about this, guys. It looks like Vic took too much stripe down there, which on paper he did. But it's very hard to judge down there when somebody drops at the last second. So you can't criticize people for taking a 400 stripe or something like that when, there was a last second drop and the other guy didn't catch it. So Just want to put that out there. Always gotta preface that. But Balenki gets his 10th divisional event win and one of his most important wins of his career right here, completing the Virginia race there at Maple Grove Raceway. That moves him into first place, solidly into first place there in the Stock Eliminator national points. It also moved him into first place in the divisional points for Division One. And in Super Stock, the completion of the race there in Virginia was Byron Warner in his, we'll say 1995 Camaro. He was running Super Stock I-Automatic, going up against Dwayne Iskant in the 1986 Mustang GTM Automatic. I think he's got a 351 Cleveland engine in his 86 Mustang. Byron had to beat his brother, Brian, in the semifinal the round before. So let's see. He was 0-20 against his brother and ran a 979 to get the win there. He's 0-30 against Dwayne Iskant. He's dialed 974. Dwayne is dialed 1093. Dwayne is 009 on the tree. Mind you, Dwayne was 006 in the semifinal against Jamie Schoenley in the Maverick. So Dwayne dialed 1093, gets down there, runs a 1089.4 at 120 miles an hour, breaking out by 36 thou. Byron Warner gets down there on his 974 and drops to a 973.7, 973.7, breaks out by 3 thou. So by the double breakout rules, Byron gets the win there, and he got by with an 030 light. Dwayne had that race. Dwayne had that one. That was his chance to win right there. Byron gets the job done, gets his 11th win. I think he won the first race at Virginia, so he actually sweeps the Virginia double there. Byron Warner does. And what does that do for him in the Super Stock points? Does that move him up to first place? No, it doesn't. Let's see. Where did that put him? It moved him into third in the division. Third for Byron, fourth for Brian. So they haven't had their best year this year, but they finished strong. Okay, now let's get to the Dutch Classic number one qualifier after class round one. So I looked in the class round one eliminations in stock and super stock to try and come up with number one qualifiers. I'm going to give it to Fred Elsis, U Stock Automatic, 72 Maverick, 1319 with a 3 at 98 miles an hour on a 1485 index. That's a 165 under, 1.657 under the index to get the number one qualifying spot there at the Dutch Classic. Yeah, I know. What's up, Michael Borst? How you doing, buddy? Definitely should have live stream coverage next year. Billy Harper. Yeah, because we all need to see Billy Harper's C-Stock Automatic go 10-15 again on the live stream. Eric Schick, is the car you ran a double overhead cam? No, it is not. It's a push rod 428. They need to advertise. They absolutely do, Ray. We gotta fix that. I gotta have a long talk with Koretsky, and I don't know. Maybe put together some kind of a deal. A guest list, like we used to do back in college with a nightclub. I have a guest list. Everybody that comes in and says they're on my guest list, you give me $5, just charge them or whatever. Give me half of their entry fee. Obviously, the track's not going to do that, but just give me a little bonus so I can go out and round people up and bring them to your nightclub. That's what we used to do in college. Well, can we do the same kind of premise for the Dutch Classic? Somebody let me know. Eustace, heading to Galat. Sorry, I meant Durana Motorsports Park in Dunn, North Carolina next week to check out the IHRA experience. Only 70 minutes from the house. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. All right. The final round of Stock Eliminator was DJ Pyers in an 85 Firebird that's owned by the Callanan family. And I got to say, this is an iStock automatic car. It was not very fast. It's only about 6 under, 57 under he qualified. And it's very difficult to avoid heads-up runs at a national open because it's random pairing in the first round. So you can't really play the ladder. And DJ Pyers was able to avoid any other iStock automatic cars all the way through, 7-round race. However, it was not able to avoid Allison Dahl in the final round. But DJ was ready, man. Check out his lights all the way to the final. He's 022 first round, 025 second round, 19 in the third round, 007 in the fourth round, 011 in the fifth round, 016 in the sixth round, and now he's got Allison Dahl, so he's ready. Allison's in the 98 Firebird, A-Stock Automatic. She was 019 first round, 028 against our buddy Ray Thurston in the second round, 16 in the third round, 36 in the fourth round, which isn't a very good light for her, 27 in the fifth round, 009 in the semifinal, and now she's got DJ Pyers. Both these drivers up from the New England area. Let's see. She's dialed 998. DJ was dialed 1173. Leaving first. DJ cracks the tree. 006. I remember filming this live on Facebook and looking through my camera. And when he left, I swore the red light was going to come on, and it didn't. So I was like, all right, that had to be good. Well, it was. It was a 006. Allison leaving second. She was dialed 998. She's 036 again. Like I said, Allison doesn't cut 036 lights. That's a little unusual for her. She gets down there, runs a 10:01 with a 5 at 128 miles an hour on her 998 dial. DJ runs an 1178 on the 1173, only 101 miles an hour. He was definitely playing the finish line. I heard a lot of blipping down there, and he gets the win. Congratulations, DJ Pyers, taking out one of the best. And driving not even his own car. DJ drives a silver 69 Nova, 70 Nova, I think, something like that. And he's driving the Callanan family 85 Firebird here. 85, 86 Firebird, I'm not sure what year it is, and gets the win. And drives it, like he's owned it for 100 years, by the way. So congratulations, DJ Pyers. Moving into Superstock, Herbie Knoll. I'm going to give him the number one qualifying spot. That is a Superstock J Automatic 1990 IHRA Z. That was my sister's favorite car when we were growing up for some reason. I have no idea why. IHRA Z. 1387 under the index. 961.3 on a 11 flat index. Superstock J Automatic, 11 flat index. 136 miles an hour, 136.81. Herbie Knoll, congratulations. Moving into the final. Well, we already kind of talked about this final. Gianni Cantucci out of Canada. I haven't seen him in a while. Guess he stays up north of the border. He came down for the Dutch Classic, though. GTL Automatic, 2000 Firebird. I think I raced him at the Dutch Classic many years ago, one of my first Dutch Classics. And his brother Franco was the first car I ever raced in Superstock. And I'm 0 for 2 against the Cantucci family, now I think about it. Let's see. He's dialed 1024 GTL Automatic 2000 Firebird going up against Julius Schonberger in the 55 Chevy. Julius was running Superstock M Automatic. He was dialed 1109. He was in the left lane. He was 068 on the tree, and we all know what happened there. He let go of the trans brake button, and the car hooked right as hard as could be. Almost hit the tree, hit the 60-foot cone, and Gianni Cantucci was 018 on the tree. So damn punctual. And they just kissed. His the front right area of the bumper of Schoenberger's Chevy hit Cantucci's I guess left rear quarter panel. And I never got to see Cantucci's car after that, so I don't know what the extent of the damage was. I wanted to see it before I left, but as soon as this final was finished and as soon as stock was finished, I kind of got out of there because I needed to get home and get things done. So I did see the Schoenberger car. If you watch the video that I posted on YouTube, you will see the damage. You will also see that Julius was very upset. I mean, this is his first race in a big car, and this happened to him. He makes it to a final, which is got to be, so elating, right? And then this happens to him. He's very upset. I got to give Kevin Cook a lot of credit there. The family pretty much ran down the track. This was about 300 feet out. And Kevin Cook, Racers for Christ, he also ran down. He gathered the family up, the Hurley family, the Schomburger family, and put them in a circle, and they had a little prayer together, which is very comforting at a time like that. And then we pushed the car off and got it to the side there so the track could get cleaned up and they could keep racing the remainder of the finals. And Julius was able to fire the car up. They deemed that it was, able to be driven back. He fired it up and drove it back. So still waiting on any word if they did find anything. They didn't find anything as of yesterday that was wrong with it. So we will keep you updated on that. Moody ran Top Sportsman, handful of cars. Apologies. Chuck a wrench next time. Jeff Tripp ran that Monty in the Ultra Quick Weight at Raceway Park in the late 90s. He had an El Camino before that. Yeah, Jeff Tripp, hell of a racer. I think he's like a Jackson, New Jersey native. So thanks, Moody, for that. Miss Raceway Park. Dan Wally, my pit neighbor. Evening, Faz. Just remembered to tune in. Didn't know it was this late out in the shop working on the second AMX. So Dan Wally, I got to give Dan a shout out. He ran 4 races in Superstock this year in Division 1 and finished in the top 10. Finished actually pretty high. Was finished pretty high until the Warners, I think, shoved him out. So he finished 8th. He only ran 4 races, finished 8th in a Superstock I-Automatic 69 AMX, 70 AMX. That only runs about 4 or 5 under the index. So had potential, scares of heads-up runs, navigated his way around, and really knocked out a lot of competition. I don't think they knew who Dan Wally was. Unfortunately, they know who Dan Wally is now. But Dan is a long-time bracket racer at Maple Grove, Cecil County, will drive any and everything. And one of the first people I probably met at Maple Grove when I started racing there back in around 2007. So, he showed what he's capable of doing. Steven Johnson, we would love to attend the race with that great air, but 14 hours is a long drive for us. I know. It's tough. I wish we could batch it in with the Nationals like we used to. You used to be able to leave your stuff there for the week, and you would run the Nationals first and the Dutch Classic right after. And I think they even tried back in the day, way back in the day, when Lex Dudas was still there. If you had a Nationals ticket, you could bring it, and you could get into the Dutch for free. But that would be cool if they brought that back. But it would be cool if they brought it back to back, so you could leave your stuff there. That should be more than an open with a decent price of contingency. I'm telling you. I mean, with that kind of car count in stock and super stock, I mean, you could up the ante for class wins based on how many rounds you have to go. Maybe like you already get contingency, but maybe throw some purse money in there. Like if you go, 1 round to win class, you get an extra $100. If you go 2 rounds, you get an extra $200 or $300. If you go 3 rounds, if there's 11 cars in your class and you had to go, 3 or 4 rounds to win class, make it $1,000 plus contingency or more if we can get sponsors. Make the purse though to win the eliminator. Make that $5,000. Just bump that up. That $2,000. That's a joke. Come on. I think we should have more fun with that race. Weather not as good, plus no Alky cars like last year due to the loss of ACO. Also, Charlie Graff passed away. He bought Lingenfelder's Corvette. Rest in peace, Charlie Graff. I did see that on Facebook. So that was sad news as well. Longtime racer. And man, I don't like this. It just keeps happening. We're just getting older. It's not what I want to keep hearing. When the F is somebody going to buy ATCO? My thoughts exactly. I don't know. Anybody heading to IHRA race this next week or whatever, chirp in their ear. Find somebody in a position of power there and get them going on it. Wish I could get to the Vegas Divisional. I know, Dan. I wish you could too. Get out there and show that West Coast what you can do. Except Vegas, you know how to dial in the wind. What's happening, buddy? I'm Vegas bound tomorrow morning. Wish y'all were going out there. I wish I was too. Kenny Koretsky ran nightclubs in New Jersey. He should be all for it then. Actually, Kenny, it was good to see him at the track. His health has been in bad shape lately. I was told that he had a kidney infection and then like a series of strokes. And he was in the hospital for a while. He did make it out to the track. His wife brought him to the track. She was riding him around in the golf cart, and he was talking to some people. But, yeah, he's hopefully on the mend, and hopefully we'll be around for a long time. Normally, random pairing doesn't allow round one heads up. So what I was told was in round one, because I never really knew how this worked. I thought it would be best if it's random pairing and they don't allow heads ups to go chase down your heads up in round one, because it would be a dial in. But that's not the case. They just shuffle you around and make you race somebody that's not in your class, is what I was told. So I never really knew the official rule on that. Diamond State Media does a great job streaming at certain Maple Grove races. Yep. Steven Johnson, you can do it. Bring it up. Pat Clementi was there with his Galaxy. That was awesome to see. Hold it down, Herbie. Hold it down, Herbie. That's right. Hashtag. Sad to see that mishap. I know. I'm way behind on the comments. There's Paul Gunther. How you doing, Paul? Thanks for letting me drive that beautiful car. Beautiful. Lots of comments on it. Lots of comments. Is this your new car? I wish. Walter Gamble, what's going on? Hi, how you doing? I forwarded photos of the damage. says Bunny Horn. All right. Haven't found anything mechanically wrong with the 55. So this is the owner of the car right here, Melinda Hurley. So nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with the car, guys. Make the Dutch class only and raise the entry fee purse. Yeah, I guess you could just do that, right? Just class eliminations and go home. I don't know if that would help or hurt the car count. Some people go just for the eliminator. Some people go just for class. A lot of people didn't show up for round 1 of the eliminator that just like to run class, I noticed. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's put something together for next year. Don't let me forget. Dan and his father are known hitters in their 55 Chevy too. Love that car. Yes, for sure. I used to race against Dan's dad in Pro Eliminator with his 55 Chevy. Pro Eliminator. They still call it Pro. Or is it Heavy again? It was Heavy, then it was Pro, and now it might be, I don't even know what it is. It might be Heavy again. It was Street, now it's Sportsman. I raced against Charlie in the 80s. Rest in peace, Mr. Graff. That's Dean Tate. All right, where were we? Points implications. This is where I need Walt Walker's help, Ray Thurston's help, anybody's help that can help me right now. Let's go through the top 5. Wait, did I get through all the announcements here? I don't want to jip anybody on any announcements. I think I did. I think we just should get to the points here. Everybody knows we got a Vegas national event this weekend, right? And then a Vegas divisional next weekend. Everybody's aware. Very good. I haven't checked out the forecast, but it's Las Vegas. It probably never rains there. It's probably going to be sunny. If that changes, somebody let me know. Top 5 in stock eliminator. Bubba Linky is number 1, 677 points. He can claim or improve upon one more national if he chooses to. I don't think he's going to. I don't see him on the list in Vegas. Jeff Strickland's in second. He's all pointed out, 655 points. Johnny Gray's in third. He's all done, 633 points. Cooter Hidalgo, 601 points. He's all done. Steve Foley in fifth. He's all done, 570 points. Jeff Longany can improve on one more national. I don't think he's going anywhere. Jeff Atkinson's all finished. He's 548 points. Jerry Emmons can improve upon 2 more nationals, or he can run 2 more nationals. He, as far as I know, is on the list in Vegas, so he can go out there. He's got 543 points. So he is 134 points behind Bubba Linky. Mathematically, if he does very well at both of these nationals, he can win. I think he can win the championship. And if I consult Walt Walker on this, I believe he can win the championship by 1 point. Walt can correct me on that. Thurston is no help. I don't even know how I'm in the top 10. Because, Thurston, I gave you that nice gift at Maple Grove back in May. All right. Why don't you just, instead of questioning it, just say thank you. Send Bubba West. Hashtag send Bubba West. Get him out there. He's a landscaper. There's no grass to cut right now, is there? Unless he's picking up leaves. There must have been oil on the track to turn that hard that quick, which we don't believe there will be oil on the track. What happened? Well, he was lined up a little bit to the right, we think, and it just didn't have that much bite where his right tire was as it did where his left tire was. Jerry Emmons would have to win both nationals to win by 1 point. Well, that's a pretty tall order. That is a tall order, but I mean, he knows how to do it. He knows how to do it. If these 2 nationals were at Dallas, I would put money on them. Since they're not at Dallas, I'll still put a couple bucks on him. You know, it's the Emmons family. You can't bet against them. Thank you for the Dutch Classic coverage. You're welcome, Jack Line. Tom Maoli is a bit late. Come on, Tom. You're on West Coast time. It's only 6:17 where you are. Thurston, it's serious. World Series is on. I know. How the Dodgers doing, Tom? Let us know. If I just show up at Vegas, I'll be in 4th place, right? You get 30 points. You're right. Fly out there. See if somebody will give you a car to just stage up in your rental car. It'll pass tech. CW and Kyle Rizzoli both have a decent shot to get to number 1, but it's a tall order. All right, so I did see CW Hofer. All right, so let's keep going. Jerry Emmons was 8th. Shane Oakes was 9th. He could claim 1 more national. Cody Phillips could claim 1 more divisional. CW Hofer has only run 3 nationals and 6 divisionals, so he could claim 3 more nationals, but there are only 2 left, and 2 more divisionals, but there's only 1 left, right? So he's got 505 points. He is 172 points behind Bubba. If he were to win 2 races, and improve upon a divisional. If somebody has all of CW's past races there up on the NHRA points, that'd be nice. All I have are his total points and the number of races he hit. CW's, I think, has mathematical possibility. Ellis Booth doesn't, 501. Joe Santangelo doesn't, 496. Brad Burton doesn't, 496. 17th place is Kyle Rizzoli. He's only run 3 nationals, 5 divisionals. He's got 486 points. I don't think, even if he won both, because he would just be improving, and I can't imagine he's improving that much because it's Kyle Rizzoli, if he can do it mathematically. But if Walt says he can, then I believe him. And then if we go any further than that, I'm not sure. Maybe Parker Theobald. He can run 2 more nationals and 1 more divisional. And that's where it stops. So we're going to say Jerry Emmons has a shot. C.W. Hofer might have a shot. And Rizzoli might have a shot. Parker Theobald might have an outside shot. And we're going to go with that. All right. If anybody's in here, please comment and let us know. Jake Cicerelli, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you this weekend. Toronto's winning 2-1, the bottom of the 4th. Thanks, Tom. Thanks for the great coverage. You're welcome, Jerry Webb. And the good tire swap. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate that. That came in. That worked out perfectly. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate that. Hey, Dan, I'd let you borrow a car, but they are both broke. Rizzoli has 2 first-round losses at Nationals. All right, so he can definitely. Wow, since when does he lose in the first round? Thanks, Walt. All right, so Rizzoli, who I am sure will be at all of these races, can pull something off here, right? Man, I think Bubba needs to get out there. Come on, this is once in a lifetime here. Let's see. Rizzoli, yep, definitely going to be there in Vegas. And who else? Parker. Parker's definitely going to be in Vegas. Who else were we thinking of? We know Emmons is going to be in Vegas. I see a ton of Emmons in Vegas there. And we said, who did we say? Hofer. C.W. Hofer. H-O-E. Yep, he's on there. All right. It's going to be a fun race to watch. 64 cars entered. So it will be a 6-round race. 1 more car were to enter, it would have been a 7-round race. That would have made it even more tough. And while we're on here, let's see how many super stockers are entered. 66. More cars in super stock than in stock. How about that? So 7-round race in super stock, barring any no-shows. Okay, what else? What else am I forgetting? Did I get a tattoo for winning the Nats at Maple Grove? No. You don't put bumper stickers on a Ferrari, Bruce. Come on. Not big into tattoos. I can't decide on anything. I'm afraid of commitment. All right, guys. That's it, man. Let's go watch the World Series, and let's watch this Vegas race. This one starts on Thursday. Oh. Let me show you the schedule because I'm kind of disappointed about it. I pulled it up here, and I would have forgotten had you guys not said anything. Vegas schedule. Here we go. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite. Okay. I don't know if you can see. Let me pull the banner off. Let me pull the banner off. How do I pull the banner off? There we go. All right. You see it? If you're looking at what I'm looking at, you know why I'm upset, right? Thursday morning, 8 a.m., Q1 stock. You got 8 a.m. Stock and super stock Q1, and then stock and super stock Q2 on Thursday, and then there it is, round 1, Thursday. We're running first round at a national event, at a 4-day national event on Thursday. Very unfortunate. Now, I get it, because there's bracket finals going on there. You've got Pro Mod. You've got Legends Nitro Funny Car. You've got alcohol. You've got, what else? Do we have like Mountain Motor Pro Stock or anything like that? I don't see Mountain Motor. But I think the Legends Nitro Funny Car. I was talking with Evan Smith about this morning. Like, that should be nighttime. That's what that's cool for put the flames out at night. That should be like after everything else is done. And then the crowd can watch that and then they can go home. So yeah, I don't like that. First round, stock and super stock, is on Thursday. Second round's on Friday, and that's it. You're done for the day. Third and fourth round, Saturday morning. But then fifth round of super stock is Saturday evening, but not stock because they're one less round. But stock fifth round is Sunday morning, but then I don't see stock final. And I don't know when the finals are. It's not really in the it's not really there on the right side on Sunday. So I guess they meant to put it in there somewhere because I do see, oh, there it is, Sportsman Finals. After the second round of pros, Sportsman Finals, there it is. And then the Parade of Champions, and then third round of pros, and then the finals of the pros. So there you go. And I see more Parade of Champions down there. So at least they're getting their stage time on Sunday. When I say stage time, I mean racing in front of the crowd. I don't mean standing on an actual stage. I should have clarified that when I was talking to Joe Costello when he was on our podcast that night. I think he meant actual stage, and I'm like, no. When I say stage time, I mean like crowd time, racing in front of crowd time. So yeah, my big gripe is the Thursday first round. That's all. But I get it. I know there's a lot going on. I know it. All right. There we go, guys. I appreciate you all coming on. I want to thank the sponsors, advancedclutches.com, vpracefuels.com, Bruce Fulper, PontiacEngines.com, RocketmanCoatings.com, DragInsights.com. Yo, Drag Insights is getting really cool. They just showed me today increments. I don't know if it's in there or not, or if they were showing me a demo version, but if you go into Drag Insights right now and you click on your like one of your events, and you will see you and your opponent matched up next to each other, you'll see a little red button next to either you or your opponent. You can click on that, and it'll show all your increments. And then there's going to be a little illustration, a little like I don't want to say animation of the cars going down the track, and you can see where the lead changed, where what increment and what the margin of victory was. It's pretty cool. So draginsights.com, check that out. Become a free member at the very least. All you need is an email address. If you want to become a premium member, that's $79 a year. So thank you, Drag Insights, for all your support. Thank you, Lupe Tortilla. Don Kennedy, Race Car Insurance. We miss you, buddy. Ray Minnick, the accountant. Hope to see you soon. Kind of mad I didn't get to see you this weekend. Or did I? No, I don't remember seeing Ray Minnick this weekend. So that was unfortunate. You should have been up there running class, right? Saw you working the whole weekend. I was racing, and we were working on the car, and we were trying our best. Don Anderson says hello in super stock. Oh, sorry. See that? That's why I need Walt Walker, man. I gotta give him a raise. Justin Lamb and Kevin Helms both have a good shot at passing Cooter's 689. So let's look at that real quick. Yeah. Jimmy Hidalgo Jr., he's pointed out 689 points. Justin Lamb can run one more national, one more divisional. He's 637. So he is only 52 points behind. Kevin Helms has 624. He can run one more national, one more divisional. Brad Burton can run one more national. He's 585 points. Pete Diagnola could run two more nationals and one more divisional. He's 579 points. So mathematically possible there, but I don't know if Pete's going to make the trip. Santangelo's done, 568. Leo Glassbrenner can run one more national. He's 561. So he cannot. Evan Kowalski, 559. He could run 1-1. Tyler Wodarczyk could run three more nationals if they were available. And I guess that's pretty much it. So as Walt said, Lamb and Helms both have a good chance of passing Cooter's 689. So thanks for bringing that up, Walt, or I would have forgotten. And no time is at a premium when you are racing, but I really enjoy your driver interviews during the race. Thank you, Eric. It's tough to race and do the interviews at the same time because I don't want my race program to suffer, and I take it very seriously. So yeah, it's kind of hard to do, but I know at this race, I had so many people texting me, asking me where the stream was, asking me what the results were, as if I worked for the NHRA. That's how many questions I was getting. So I felt like I had to do something. I had to do something about it. So after I felt that my car was ready to go, or Paul's car was ready to go, and changes were made that I needed to make, and all my data was done, everything was done for the race program, then I went out and tried to film a couple things. But as you can tell, I got a half hour of content, but you know, if I was just there to film and I wasn't racing, I probably would have had 4 hours worth of content. I mean, it was that great of an event. So thanks for that, Eric. I appreciate it. Thanks, Walt, for all your help, man. I couldn't do this without you. And everybody that chimed in tonight. Everybody have a good night. Good luck at Vegas, and hope to see you at Pomona. I'm still trying to see if I can get out there. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it, everybody. Have a good night. See you.